When I think a lot of people go into class and they just try to be like the teacher. And with all the love in the world, you're never going to be like me. You never will. And I'm never going to be like you.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
For sure.
You got to use you as the superpower.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to do, and to figure out what it is that helps you thrive and what is your superpower in dance. Is it performing? Is it technique? Know that, yes, mistakes are okay, but if you're not aware of the mistakes, that's where the danger is. Because 9 times out of 10, you come to a class, you're gonna get majority of the steps. But we focus so heavily on the 5% that we don't get, that we throw, I say it all the time, it's like a banana. When there's one little brown spot on the banana and you throw the entire thing away, there's so much good banana in there. Like, why are we throwing it away? So celebrate, like you have a banana, you have an entire, this one little spot of brown. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Studio North podcast. We are here at Studio North, Toronto. Super excited to be here. Today we have a very special guest. He is a legend and an icon in the Toronto dance community, but also just across Canada. We've been following this guy even before Toronto opened. We are super excited and honored to have the one and only Derick exclusive Robinson on the podcast. Make some noise. Welcome to the podcast, brother. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.
How are you feeling today?
You know, we're tired today. It's one of those, like, it's rainy outside, it's gray, but you know what? Inside, we're feeling good.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, we've been, following your work all the way back on West Coast, even before we even thought about opening Studio North Toronto. And you've been an icon and a legend in the scene. So we're just super happy to be able to sit down with you and just share Derick Robinson to the world. You recently came back from a super cool trip to Macedonia where you were judging.
Did.
What was that like?
That was a wild experience. Yeah, being out overseas, somewhere I've never been before again. I was there for 10 days. Yeah. And just seeing the kids out there, not all of them were kids, but majority were kids.
Yeah.
Seeing all the dancers out there, it was wild to see how different the competitive scene is, even just that one specifically compared to what I've done in the past. So judging that took a little while to get used to understand their system and their rules and the way that they run things. But once I got the hang of it after that first day, I was like, okay, I can sit, I can enjoy, I can take this in now. And it was such a cool experience, and I'm so happy I got to do it.
Hell yeah. That's so dope. I think representing Canada too, obviously representing yourself, but being Canadian and going out internationally, that's dope. And it's really cool to see Canada continue to be put on the map. Oh yeah. And repping for your country. You've been doing this for a hot minute, so that's dope.
It's nice when it's kind of taken above just I'm judging, but I really felt like I was representing Canada too, because there's judges from a bunch of different countries as well, so feeling like I was the Canadian rep, the Canadian judge, everyone was like, whoa. I think I was the only one from North America.
Sick.
So it felt really cool.
Yeah.
It felt really cool.
What did it feel like coming back after that trip? Did you obviously, I'm guessing, felt inspired from that?
Majorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, just watching how passionate they were out there and how much they love dance and how much you could tell that they put into it. I was like, wow, watching, I was like, oh, I need to step my game up a little bit. These kids be going off right now.
Totally.
And yeah, the creativity, the technique, it was so nice to go and judge a competition that had good hip hop. I know it was a hip hop competition, but just watching the technique, it was wow, okay.
Refreshing.
It was refreshing, yeah. 'Cause sometimes you judge and you're okay, it can be a little on the line or maybe under the line sometimes. But yeah, from the jump, I was just blown away by almost everything.
Yeah.
Every routine, one after the next, I was I just want to keep watching you guys. It was so cool. Very inspired, very motivated to dance and take some of the essence that they brought and some of the energy that they brought and put it back into myself and then bring it back into dance here. So
Totally. And I also feel like when you travel, you also get perspective and understanding. Like we sometimes we're spoiled.
yep.
And like you go overseas and you see like these kids are flying from, or like you said, not just kids, but like these adults, just dancers in general, are flying from their own home country to wherever you're teaching. And it's like, you know, sometimes we complain about driving half an hour or an hour to get to class, and going over to Europe and overseas and just seeing how dedicated these dancers are.
Oh, yeah.
It is, yeah, it puts everything into perspective, and it kind of makes you want to share that with everyone back home too, of like, you know, we got something pretty sick here.
Oh, yeah.
And like super accessible, and like
That's
take advantage of that, because you go elsewhere around the world and they're like, yeah, we don't have this in our hometown.
Nope. Yeah, they have to, everything has to go to them where we have everything here. You know, so if they want something, they're going to go and make sure that they do their best to get it for them.
Totally.
Whereas like sometimes I feel like we have it here and it's just readily available at any time.
Yeah.
So it's just like, we know it's going to be there, so I'll just do it next time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't create this sense of urgency. Whereas I feel like they're like, I want to do it. I got to do it. Like, it's here. The opportunity's here. Let me just go for it. So it was like, yeah, it's that accessibility. That's the big one there.
100%.
You can see that. But some good teachers. They have some great choreographers out there too, right? But it's just the plethora of it. You know, there's just much more here.
Totally.
There's more, you know, more styles, more teachers, just more
Opportunities, classes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
dope.
where all it really is, because they are very talented and very dope out there. So it's hard to say like not one's necessarily better than the next. It's just, there's just so much here.
Yeah,
So much.
that's awesome. Okay, let's take us back a little bit. So I hear you're quite the soccer superstar.
Yeah.
you were playing and repping on like a provincial and national level back in the day.
Yeah.
So soccer was, dude, I grew up playing soccer since I was like 4, so I feel like we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I love the game, but yeah, tell us a little bit about that part of your life. I guess that's a while back now.
That's a whole lifetime, 2 lifetime, 3 lifetimes ago. That's what I thought was going to be my life. I was like, I'm going to be a soccer player. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to go here. Like, I've traveled for it. And I've been to Brazil. I've been to England. I've been to the States for soccer. Like, with Team Ontario, the provincial level, we used to travel every year.
Jeez.
And it was always during March break, which was crazy because it was always during my birthday. So I was always in a different country for like 3-4 years on my birthday with the soccer team playing.
That's
so it was
sick.
always such a cool experience. Maybe not those birthday beats from the guys. I still remember running from all of y'all in Brazil, and none of you could catch me. After like 2 hours, I was like, I'm done. I'm so tired. You know what? Just take it. Just go. And it was great. But had some really memorable times out there. And I never thought that this is where I would have ended up. Like, I was so gung-ho, like, it's gonna be the game.
Yeah, so how did you talk a little bit about that shift? Like, when did that happen? Because you basically, you were lined up for a career in being a professional soccer player, and then you decided to, you know, move over into dance. What was that? Has dance kind of always been something that you've been doing? Was it brand new at the time?
It was still fairly fresh during that time. Like, I started dancing when I was 15, middle of high school, just, you know, wanted to be in a class around girls. You know, that was yeah, so everyone's like, remember why you started?
Dude.
I'm like, that's not exactly why I dance now, though. So I'm gonna kind of just forget that for a second, because that's not it anymore. But I think timing. At the end of the day, it was timing and the universe's alignment and all that stuff that kind of not pushed me into dance, but I just kind of fell into it. Because 15, 16, 17, I think I finished or stopped playing soccer when I was 17. I was on the TFC Academy team at the time. I think there was the first year they had like their academy to like farm for the full team.
Crazy.
And just had some not so great experiences on that team, which kind of led me to like taking a break. And then just the timing of not being able to go back to my other team because of other things that happened. And then I was like, I'm not going to go to a rivals team. Like, half of the team hates me. And then I'm not going to go to like a bottom of the table. Like, we were one of the best teams in the country. We were the best team in the country.
Damn.
I'm going to say which chest. We were the best. We had like 5 5 or 6 guys that went to the TFC training as well.
Wow.
So just I left the TFC. I couldn't go back to my club team. And I was like, I'll just take a break. And then during that break, I ended up going to a random workshop. And that's where I met Hollywood. And he was like, oh, I have this gig for you. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but sure. And just, the timing of it just lined up that I finished one. And then I was kind of starting to get my feet wet in dance, like outside of just doing it in my backyard, because that's how I started for the first 3 years and change, was just like in my school with friends, that's where the name Exclusive came from.
Yeah.
It was our exclusive dance crew was the name.
on.
And then one day I just randomly put Derick Exclusive Robinson in my Facebook and people started calling me Exclusive when I came downtown. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just keep it.
Hell yeah.
And then I kept it. So always taking a little bit of the beginning with me. But
That's dope.
I never, that switch just kind of naturally just ended up rotating. And then I got into it, and then I got in with the company AIM, and then it's just like it all kind of just happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess we're here now. And then I just never went back because I was starting to, build a career here and was getting paid. I never really got paid for playing soccer, even though we were in a semi-professional league.
Yeah.
To keep the NCAA eligibility. I can't say it. Eligibility. Oh my gosh, that's a struggle. To keep that, you can't be paid. So I was like, I want to keep the option to maybe be able to still go to school and play.
Right.
So we never got paid for it, even though some teams and some players were getting paid in that league, which was fine. I was totally okay with it. But yeah, when that switch happened, I was like, I'm getting paid to dance. Like, I'm meeting some really cool people. I'm inspired, and let me just see where this goes.
Totally.
Here we are.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of that, would you say like a lot of that hard work ethic that you learned in soccer, competing for so many years, whether that's, the value of teamwork or the value of just like working your tail off, definitely, helped you out as you pursued your career in dance.
100%. Yeah, the discipline to like train hard. Like when I came into dance and started, not that it was less, I still worked hard, but like I think the strict discipline.
Yeah.
I know some people grow up with that, like a studio life and comp life and stuff maybe, but like I never had that setting in dance. So I always felt like this is almost like a piece of cake, because like I'm not gonna get yelled at if I just don't shake your hand right.
Right.
Or if I don't say the right thing, or if I don't do the right thing, or if I don't have my shoes tied the right way, if I'm not wearing the right thing. Like there's a lot of kind of extra rules and stuff that kind of applied to that when I came into dance, I wasn't exactly exposed to. But having that discipline and that work ethic and, the training to run up and down that field for an hour and a half. When I came and started dancing, I'm like, oh, only 5-minute piece?
Yeah.
That's nothing. I felt like I could, now it's a different story. Now it's a whole different story. But like back then, like I felt like I could dance all day, every day.
That cardio,
because it was good back then. I was running every day and multiple, having to run and track my workouts and track my running stuff for like my team.
Yeah.
So coming into dance, I felt like I had that kind of physical athleticism to just be able to keep going and going and going. And I think that definitely helped kind of propel my training when I started coming downtown.
For sure.
Because I could take 3 classes and do rehearsal and then do a session after. And let's do it again tomorrow.
Totally.
So,
and I feel like that's a common pattern that we see in a lot of professional and like successful dancers is they're actually really good at other things as well.
Oh, yeah.
Or they were really good at other things, and then they used that to their advantage within their dancing. And like you can take some of the, top choreographers in the industry and in the community today, and you get to know them and you find out that they were phenomenal soccer players. They were phenomenal, basketball, other sports. They're really amazing at art. They're really amazing at music. And there's this pattern where I feel like we bring our history to our dancing and the work ethic. So whether, you were in sports as a kid or you were put in extracurriculars and you learned the value of hard work, you learned you know, how to be successful at anything, and then you just apply that to dance.
Yep.
And I feel like that's super common. Like, you talk to any dope dancer, any dope choreographer, and they've got this like crazy secret hidden talent, but there's always like a correlation. There's a reason for that. And I do think a lot of that comes down to just like really strong work ethic that you learn early on, and then that can translate to so many different things.
Definitely.
That's dope. Okay, so you know, took a step away from soccer, started pursuing dance. Who are the original gentlemen?
Oh, miss those guys. Yeah, so when I came into like the industry and the thing, like when I was dancing with my company AIM, it was great. We had that camaraderie, but I also felt like like I said, like in high school I had my crew, like it was just a bunch of friends. Some of them may have done like comp stuff before, and some of them were just like homies that just wanted to dance, you know, or like we're just like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So having that like crew kind of vibe, I missed. So it was for actually Worlds of Dance Toronto, the very first one that happened. I was like, I'm going to try to get a bunch of guys that I know around. Some of them were from AIM. Some of them were from other places that I met through wherever. And I was like, I want to get a group of guys together. I've always wanted to have like a guys thing. Let me try that.
Yeah.
And so I hit up a bunch of homies. I hit up a bunch of people that I met, people that I look up to. And I was like, hey, would you be down to like compete at this thing? Like, and maybe start like a crew type thing? We never really like officially were going to be like, we're going to be a crew until after the comp. We kind of put it together and was like, we kind of like this. This is fun. And then we just kind of took off after that.
Crazy.
Because we were supposed to win.
I was gonna ask. I was like, how did the comp go? Did you win? What
There
was
was some drama.
Oh no!
Year, yeah. There was some not questionable judging, but just like the scoring and everything. It just got all messed up. And at the comp, we were announced winners and crowd favorite. Crowd favorite we got, but after a while, there was a crew from I think Montreal. D something. I can't remember. But they were there was only 3 teams that scored above 80. 1, 2, 3. You would think so.
Yeah.
But somehow they had like a score of 80 something, and they were in 4th. So they're like, why is someone who has a lower score than us 3rd place? So they messed up. And they went through all the records and all the numbers again. And the next day, after we celebrated all night,
no way,
I finally won a competition. And it's with the homies.
Yeah.
And it's with this crew that like I plus them like started. Like
Yeah.
I was like on top of the world because I've always been 2nd,
Yeah.
3rd. I never like won a dance thing like that before. And we were just like on top of the world. And the next day we got, I can't remember if it was a call or an email. There's like, actually, there was a scoring issue.
Dude.
So then because of that, they noticed that they gave us out of nowhere like 5 extra points.
What? That makes
So
no
I
sense.
don't know how that the tallying or whatever, the addition of the scores got done up, and we had 5 extra points out of nowhere. So which actually dropped us down to 3rd. 3rd place went down to 4th. 2nd went into 1st. Like it was,
Dude, that's whack.
it was just crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4 just completely got mixed up. And so it was a little
Dicey.
shaky that first year. But I honestly, it's a story and it's a moment that I will never forget with those guys. Like it was still so much fun. Like just being in the room with them, rehearsing with them every week. It felt just like the homies jamming together. 100%. And we were still putting in work. We say it a lot, and I think it's a concept we need to bring back nowadays, is friendly competition. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's okay, you're great, and I'll no, like, you're great, but like, I still want to one-up you a little bit, you know? Like, if I wasn't dancing, you know, with Raph and Lennon, Armando, Peter, like, Lamar, people don't remember Lamar was in the first performance, like, there's so many people that were in it, and we were all just trying to like be the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we were all still friends.
Totally.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that competition doesn't always mean like I gotta butt heads. It doesn't mean a battle. It's like we're trying to one up each other. And if we keep doing that, you one up me, I one up you. And then we keep doing this. But if we just kind of, it's okay. No, you go. No, you go. We kind of just stay.
Yeah.
So it's a like, it's a concept that I loved back in the day. It's just that friendly competition. We always wanted to see who could be the most extra, who could be the most random, who could be the most full out, who could do the dumb choices. Like,
yeah.
It just made it so interesting and such a fun place to be creative.
Totally. Yeah, I do 100% agree. I feel like respectful competition is another way of like approaching it where like, yes, it's friendly, but it's at the end of the day, like you don't have to be best friends with, the people you're competing against, but as long as you're respectful of them and respecting them and like their art. And you're right. I do feel like somewhere along the line that's kind of been forgotten and everyone's been so entrenched in their own team where it's almost not aggression towards the other side, but like there is no respect. And I remember back in the day, like, dude, even with, and side note, I do also feel like all the best crews that come out in the scene, they all started as friends dancing together because that's at the heart of why we started dancing in the first place. And the more you enjoy dancing and hanging out and practicing with your friends, the better you're going to get because the more you're going to practice.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Whereas if you just like get the best people in a room, set practice times, but no one actually likes hanging out with each other, they're not going to look forward to coming back for the next rehearsal. And so that's kind of like that competitive advantage that teams that are friends have over everyone else is like, yo, we just like hanging out, goofing around in the studio. Yeah. And then it turns into something fire. And then we go out and we win competitions. Yeah. But sometimes we overthink it and overanalyze it and try to, no, we need the best dancers and we need this and we need that. And it becomes almost too, I don't want to say organized, but too like professional early on. And getting back to just, having fun with your friends and enjoying that and then letting it like organically grow and seeing what happens from there, I think is something that we, that I've experienced obviously with Brotherhood and a lot of other teams that, are in the community. But I do agree. I feel like even the top athletes, the top teams that are competing on an elite level, like they still have, so much respect for the other team that they're competing. In the moment, it's heated. They're going at it. And especially in soccer, like you take, two, let's call it Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, maybe. I don't even know if they're respectful towards each other, but let's just say they are. Like they compete at such a high level. And yet at the end of the day, or Beckham's a good example because I just watched the Netflix documentary. Dude, good. So good. And you look at a guy like him where, he works his tail off and yet he still has respect for the other players in the league and that he's playing against. And that doesn't mean, he has to hate them. It just means, just do your best, see what happens and leave it all on the field. So I think that's definitely something that we can, we should be bringing back to the dance community. Dude.
It's a balance. We also still need that professional side though too. You still need that. And that's again maybe another thing that I learned from doing the crew is like sometimes with your friends it can be a little lax.
Totally. You get like nothing done. You have like 3-4 rehearsals where you just like, don't do anything. You're just chilling, eating pizza.
It can feel like that, which I learned to find the balance. Like yes, we're here to have a good time. Let's jam, let's be silly, let's do whatever. But also we gotta get stuff done.
Totally.
At the end of the day, we still gotta get this done.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I've had lots of great experiences with them, and then a finger or two of some not so great ones. But we learn from them. With anything, you're gonna have that. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Miss you guys.
Yeah, I love that.
We need to like connect. We've been talking about connecting for years.
Yeah.
It's hard. We all live somewhere different. Armando's in London, Peter's in Vancouver, Raf's here. Like Raf's always somewhere in the Caribbean doing something. Like we're all over. Christian's in Montreal. Like we're all over the place. So it's tough when we're hours away from each other to get together. So,
but that'd be dope. Like bringing back a performance, maybe at a show, local show.
That would be
next
sick.
Studio 6.
That would be sick.
Okay, speaking of performances, a little birdie told me that you and So You Think You Can Dance have had a, I was going to say relationship in the past, but you have had
maybe a toxic relationship.
Dude, talk to us about that because that's pretty crazy. Yeah. That was back in the day, early seasons.
Very early, yeah.
So what was that? Yeah, what was that like? When did you first audition? How did that go?
I think I was 18 the first. It was the second season that I first auditioned.
Like ever of So You Think You Can Dance?
Yeah, for Canada.
Crazy.
I can't do the American one. I'm not American.
Yeah.
But for Canada, it was the second season was the first time I auditioned. And I don't think I knew anybody at that time yet. Like I just like my mom drove me down, like, and she waited in the car all day, like, and like literally all day, because I think that was the day I made it to the Blake's boot camp thing to see if you made it to the next round. So I was there until like 2:30 in the morning.
No way.
And I was there at like 6 in the morning. My mom waited all day downtown just chilling.
Was it in an auditorium?
The Metro Convention Center.
Oh, okay,
like
okay.
Like right downtown.
Wow.
Just chilled.
Dang.
But first time I went, I was just like blown away by the amount of people. I think there was like 1,200 people there or something the second season, I guess. But the first time I did it.
Yeah.
I just remember standing in line, and it just felt like everyone knew each other, and everyone knew they had their cliques and stuff. And I was just like this little 18-year-old from Keswick, from the bush, just like, I don't know anything, and I think I know dance. And I did not know dance back then.
Yeah.
So that was an eye-opening experience for sure, especially that first season. I was like, wow, like the amount of talent, the different genres, the different unique little quirks that people have. And I was just like, whoa. Like it opened my eyes to how much bigger dance was than I thought it was. It was very overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, that first year. It was very overwhelming. But, having done it, went back the second year, and that was the first time I made it to finals week.
Jeez.
So I was like, sick, woo, yay, good times. And I was like, I'm gonna go for it. But like, I don't think I was necessarily like in it yet. I was just starting to get into it, because that's when I started to, I was with the company by that point. So I at least went with some people, and I knew some people. So it felt a little bit more calm. I was like not so overwhelmed. That process is very different than you see on TV. As all reality, because at the end of the day, it's a
100%.
competition, but it's a reality show.
Totally.
So-
Don't even get me started. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so they have their vision for what the show is, and they're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
seeing the way that it's ran, I was like, okay, this is different, but like I see it now. I'm starting to understand. And I made it to finals week. First round's hip hop, so I was like, got it.
Easy.
But it's also Luther, so not easy.
For sure.
That was the first time I think I saw Laura Edwards and George Jones, actually.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I was blown away by them. I was like, oh, that's how you dance.
Yeah.
Got it. Because those two together are like crazy amount of like sauce. Like crazy. So I was taking as much in as possible from all the people, because at that point it's literally like the best dancers in the country are all on that stage together. Yeah. So you're like, whoa. And then I can't remember the second round, and then I think I got cut at the ballroom round or just before the ballroom round. And then it brought me back because they needed an extra body, and then I got cut again. I got cut twice in that second season. But then it went, and then the third season, which is technically the fourth season. Yeah. But the last season we all kind of had rumors and murmurs of it being the last season, because they were on a 4-year contract. So we were like, this could be our last shot.
Right.
And that's when I was like in it now. I think it was 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, because I was also in school at that time. I was with the company. Like I've been in the city for like 2 years now, like busting, taking all sorts of classes. I was taking ballroom classes, taking jazz. Like I was taking everything, because I was like, so you think you need to be able to do everything. So let me have an understanding of as much as possible. Yeah. Because really, at the end of the day, a year to learn X amount of styles. Some people spend their entire life training in one style, and still have so much to learn. Yeah. So I tried to get as much as I could, but going into it, I was like, I'm making it this year. I am going to make that top 20 this year. I went in with this extra bit of like,
grit,
yeah, and I was just so determined. And like doing my solo, like I remember that first solo that I did, and they were like, something's a little different here. And I was like, I want it this year. Like, I know what I'm doing this year. Yeah. I thought so. And I was still only like 20 maybe. Wow. Like, and I was like, I was so determined. Made it to finals week again. Went through all the rounds, made it to the very end when it's like, yes or no, you made the show, you didn't make the show. Yeah. And I was just getting all this feedback the whole time I was auditioning, you could make it, you could go all the way this year. Like, we could see the work you've put in. I can't remember remember exactly the quote, but they're like, you are the best hip hop dancer that can do contemporary. And I was like, oh, thank you. So like I felt really good going. Like I felt confident. Now I'm a person that I don't like to get my hopes up and I don't expect anything. But at that time I was still young. I still expect, when people tell you things, you kind of expect it.
Yeah.
So when they go out, and So You Think and reality shows have this way of talking. When they start with something good, they're probably going to end with bad news. When they start with I don't know, but you made it. You know what I mean? It's the drama of it,
Totally. I hate
And
it.
it didn't really start, when I got the feedback, it didn't really start good or bad. It was just kind of like, you've shown that you're good enough to make it and you're ready to be on the show. And I'm like, okay, And I was like, okay, hearing that, you'd think, okay, I'm ready. And they're like, but you're just not there yet. And I was like, And then immediately, like, there's literally a video online. You see me do this. And I just panic, and I'm like looking in the distance, and they're like trying to like talk to me. I'm like, just hold it together, bro. Just hold it, and just inside, everything just sank.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was my last shot to make this. This was my last shot to show that I could be this dancer. And just started, the moment I left that stage, I just started bawling. And of course they had a camera and lights walking down this narrow hallway. And I'm just like, get out of my face. And I'm like crying.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most, I think, heartbreaking things I've had in dance. Because at the time, I almost stopped. I was like, why? Like, why am I training for anymore? Like, I was doing all this stuff to make the show. And I had to do a lot of work to kind of like rewire my brain into like, I wasn't dancing for a reality show. Like, why do I dance? Like, why do I actually dance? Like, why am I doing this? What is this for? What am I in school for? What am I training for? What am I putting in all this work for? And I kind of had to like redefine what dance was for me, what art was for me, what my life was. That was a really low moment for me. Like, I just wasn't motivated to do anything. I was working as a dancer. I was training. I was still in school. I had kind of just started teaching a little bit, more regularly anyway. And just everything felt like meh, blah. So then I had a great teacher at George Brown, Derick, also named Derick. Hey, what up, Derick Sangster? He kind of sat me down. He was like, I know what it's like to work and be in school and train and do all this stuff. And I know how hard it can be, but you look lost right now. And it's like, you come to class, you come to, and I was failing like 3 classes at the time. Oh no. Which I don't think I ever told my mom. Sorry. But we made it. We turned it around. But I wasn't trying for like a month, 2 months. Like first semester I got most improved in my class. And second semester I'm failing 3 classes. All my teachers were like, red flag. What is going on? And he sat me down. He was like, you need to figure this out. Like, if you want to be here, you're going to be here. If not, just leave. Like, you don't have to spread yourself thin. Like, just go to your company, go work, go do that stuff. Or if you can do both, if you can handle it, stay. But I need you to work if you're going to stay here. Again, hold it together, bro. The moment I left the room, I sat down and I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And just started bawling again. And then I'm so happy that he sat me down and was so honest with me and just upfront and like, you have options. And not just like, I have to do everything. Like, you can decide what you want to do. And it just kind of opened my eyes. And then we had like reading week. So I had a week to kind of like just woosah. And I went back and I was like, no, I want to do this. I want to be here and I want to train and I want to like get all this knowledge for me because it might not be useful for So You Think, but it could be useful in my career. If I'm trying to build a career, then I felt like I needed to be versatile. And I needed to have all this different training to be able to thrive in this industry, which it has. So
yeah, absolutely.
It was a tough thing. That's So You Think. It was very tough. It took me on a roller coaster, but I also met so many incredible people, so many dancers through that. Like, it's a melting pot of dancers and artists. Yeah. So you're gonna meet people. You're gonna get close with people. So I'm very thankful for all the things that taught me, the good and the bad, and all the people that introduced me, all the choreographers and judges and stuff. Like I got pretty close with Trey, and I used to like teach for her, like give back workshops. Like I got close with Luther. I did a few jobs with Luther after. Like it was really cool because you realize that at that time in my life, exposure was a big thing, you know, and you do need some of that in your life. So sometimes, yes, paying with exposure is not great. A job with exposure is not great, but opportunities with exposure, you know, workshops, classes, events, auditions, look, things of that nature, those are opportunities. Those are exposure. You have to expose yourself. I don't need you to expose me. I'm gonna show, like I'm gonna bring myself to you so that you can see me. I don't need you to show other people to me. I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
So having that and being exposed to such a wide range of people, I'm just like all the connections I made and stuff and the friends I made, like the memory, I still had so many great memories doing it and being there for an entire intense week with all these dancers. Like you create such good relationships with them, and it's like lifelong friends, you know? You might not see them every day, but it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot, and I'm very glad that I ended up doing it.
Dude, that's awesome. What so let's say, you know, if you could talk back to younger Derick when he was at that low, you know, when, you know, your professor was talking to you, because, you know, a lot of dancers and even just people today, they deal with heartbreak, they deal with disappointment. What advice would you give to somebody who's right now, like they're at that low? They got the no, they got the rejection, and they don't really know what to do with their life. Because, I mean, I feel like out of all people, you can speak to this because you felt like that was your absolute low. And then now here you are, you know, however many years later, continuing to teach and travel and inspire dancers essentially all over the world. So you basically made it, but you also experienced this crazy low that almost made you give up. So what advice would you give to someone who's currently in that mindset right now that you were in?
First thing you need to do is you need to just feel it. You have to take it in. You can't run from those feelings. There's no like, let me just throw it in the closet and leave it in there, because it's gonna stay there.
Yeah.
It's just gonna stay there, and then who knows when it might just come bursting out.
Yeah.
You know? So, because I find when you do that, you start to resent it, you start to hate it, you start to really not want to do this or anything, whatever the case is, dance, life, relationships, whatever it is, you know? So I think the first thing I would say, and it's the first thing that I do now whenever I feel low like that, is like, feel it. Like, take it in. Like, you can't run from that feeling. Just like when you celebrate and you take it in, and you have to do that with the bad stuff too. You can't just celebrate the good stuff. Like now I can celebrate all that bad stuff because I see how much it helped build me and helped create who I am. So I would say definitely like feel it, describe it. What does it feel like? You know, it's kind of sucks to do that sometimes, you know, but really being honest with yourself and like, where am I right now? What is this? What do I want? What am I doing? Like, how do I get out of this? Like, just start asking questions. That's the biggest one, is definitely you have to experience whatever feelings, emotions that you're going through. And then I don't know if I say do the work, but like do the work to figure out how you're going to get yourself out of it. What are things that bring you joy in dance? What are things that help you feel connected in a positive way to dance, to the art? Sometimes taking a break, you know, find, like you said, like find other things you're good at, do that for a while. What else do you enjoy doing? Like find joy in life with whatever it is. If you like plants, get some plants. If you do camera stuff, do camera stuff. If you like to sing, like sing, you know, like whatever it is that you do that kind of sparks some joy, like try to do that as much as possible. Because even if it's not dance, that will help just lift your spirit. It'll help kind of bring you back up. So you got to feel it, and then you got to figure out what is going to make you happy again. And then once you kind of in like that transition space, then you go, okay, dance. How do I define dance for me now? What does that mean? Because dance from when I started almost 20 years ago now, to now, my definition of it and my reasoning for it is very different. From day 1 to year 5 to year 10 to now as a professional, like year 15-ish, somewhere around there, 16, I don't know, I lost track. But somewhere around there, you know, like my definition of dance now is just, it's forever evolving. And it might be different again in a year, next year, 5 years, 10 years, it's gonna be different again. So allowing yourself to redefine what dance is for you when you feel that. Because sometimes we try to just hold on to the feeling and hold on to what it is from the past. But if you're feeling that, like, that tension and that, like, lowness, it's probably because there's a disconnect. So you have to figure out how to get reconnected to it. And again, sometimes you gotta take a break. Sometimes you might need to just immerse yourself fully into it. I'm just gonna take class every day. I'm gonna go somewhere else and take class. I'm gonna, you know, dance with different people. I'm gonna do a whole new style. Just like immerse yourself into something else. Like there's endless options for this. And I don't necessarily think there's one answer to help get you out of there. But one thing that I say a lot in my classes and stuff too is like, you got to figure out what you as an individual need to thrive. I know what I need to thrive. You know what I mean? And I'm relearning that and learning that as I go, you know, like I always need food in my bag. Because if I get hungry, that's a wrap. So I have a granola bar, I got some snack, just something to nibble on to get me through that last hour of class or rehearsal or whatever it is, you know? So I've done all these things. Like I always have rollers with me. I have my massage guns. I have my like creams. Like I always have all these things with me to keep me going when I feel like I'm like gassing. You know, when I'm tired or when I don't want to do it, like what keeps me going? And it's remembering that like I actually really love this. At the end of the day, dance is my job. It's my career, yes. But it's also very much so my passion and my hobby. And I use both to help fuel both. You can't just rely on the fact that you like it to fuel your career, because then it's just like, I'm just doing this because I like it, you know? But like, I also know that like, I can't just rely on the career side to make me love dance. I don't need a job to make me feel good. I don't need to teach to make me feel good. I don't need anything to make me enjoy dance. All I need is even sometimes not even music. I just be boom, boom, like I'm just jamming to nothing. I hear a water drop and I'm like, and I just start clicking any type of rhythm, a light flicker, I'm gonna find a way to find a beat in it. Like that's just where my brain goes. So you gotta, for me, I know that I use my career to keep me motivated, but I also use my passion to keep me like inspired and wanting to do it. So it's finding that balance. But it's tough to get out of those low moments. But the more you can feel it, the more you can be honest with yourself, no matter how long it might take. Sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's a week, sometimes it might be a year. I've had some, you know, pretty slow times in dance where I wasn't really doing a whole lot. Career-wise, I was just teaching and stuff, but like, I still want to be a dancer too, you know? Like, there's still plenty of times I didn't get jobs. There's plenty of times I didn't get the teaching opportunity, or someone else got the convention, or someone else got to do the judging stuff, you know, and it kind of sucks when that happens because, you know, you want to, and, you know, especially when you feel like you're capable and you're qualified to do these things. Sometimes it has nothing to do with that. And it's hard to separate that, but I also like, again, you can separate the fact that I am a dancer and I'm an artist and I am this and I look this way and I dance this way. It just might not fit what someone else is looking for.
Totally.
And it has nothing to do with my talent or my skill level. It's just, you don't fit in right now with this. I always say, like, you know, I'm casting an all Asian dance group or dance performance. I'm not gonna make it. No matter how qualified I am dance-wise, I'm not gonna be in that. But back in the day, I'd be like, why didn't I get it? I could have done this. But bro, you're not Asian. So sometimes you have to learn about the industry too. And that's another one. Like, so you think, Tommy, it's like, it's not just your talent.
For sure.
There's so external many other factors that are involved. And sometimes just who you are just doesn't fit that. And again, you got to go back to being honest with yourself. Like, I'm not the most sociable person. I can be when I feel comfortable, you know, when I feel like I know you and like we're cool, but like in an open setting, like I'm not going to be the one to go around and like introduce myself to people. Like I'm a little bit more reserved than that. Like that's just who I am. So in that sense, it's been hard for me, but like doesn't mean I'm not capable of it.
For sure.
You know, I can do it. I just prefer not to.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know, it's still nerve-wracking for me sometimes,
yeah.
but being exposed to that, I know I'm capable of it.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things we can do.
Yeah, no, I love that's funny that you mentioned that. It's you wouldn't expect that from a lot of teachers that like we chat with who are like the center of a room when they're leading class. They're carrying the energy. They're the one that's speaking, being charismatic at the front, and then you get to, you know, talk to them afterwards, and they're like, "That's actually like I'm actually not that all the time. I actually prefer to be a little more like reserved." But we, you know, as professionals, you know when you got to like flick that switch and turn that on. But that is because when you said that, I was like, "You're not social? Are you kidding?" That's anyone that knows Derick, that is not true. But I get it because I'm kind of the same way. Like. I totally resonate with that. I also, I really liked what you said about like feeling it when you're in those low points. Cause I think another thing it does for me, at least in the past, is it's taught me I never want to feel this again.
Yeah.
So that's a great motivator for you to like go out and work even harder. Like if you don't feel that like loss, if you don't feel that disappointment, you're not going to, you're just going to move on to the next thing and nothing maybe is really going to change. But if you feel it, you know, that really sucked. And I really want to do everything I possibly can to not feel that. And like you said, there's going to be so many things out of your control, out of all of our control. But again, you just throw yourself in the ring and in the arena time after time after time. And eventually it's, you know, it's going to hit one of those times. But I agree. You really do have to feel those moments, and then not want to experience that ever again. At least for me, that's what's really helped me in the past. Yeah. So, you know, you've also, you know, you talked a little bit about teaching. I would argue, you know, you are, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say like you're one of the longest lasting teachers, like teachers that have been teaching in the community. You've been teaching for what? We were talking about this before, 15 years?
Oh, like 14, I think.
14.
Like dropping, you know, like consistently 14, 15.
14 years. So teaching consistently for 14 years, every single week, multiple classes. First of all, kudos. Like that takes, anyone who's taught a drop-in knows how hard it is to consistently be teaching. And dude, like studios have come and gone, dancers have come and gone, communities have come and gone, and yet you've still stayed consistent throughout all of those years. First off, like major respect for that. And I feel like you need to have those flowers if people don't give you enough of those flowers, because it's no easy task, like putting yourself and your art and your heart out for the world and for the community to like see and learn and judge. And yet you've been doing this consistently for the past 15 years. And if anyone's taken your class or even watched your choreo, like I would argue you're one of those one of the top dancers in my mind that when I watch you dance, I know you wear your heart on your sleeve. I know exactly what you're feeling, whether it's to, you know, it could be to hip hop, it could be to contemporary music. Like you just fully embody the movement and the choreography that you've created, and you just wear it on your sleeve. Like I'm watching you and I'm like, I know what he's feeling right now because he's making it very apparent for all of us. So I think that's also one really cool and unique aspect about you and your art. But jumping back to teaching, how the heck have you taught for 15, 14 years, you know, consistently every single week? I'm sure that, you know, you've taken some breaks, holidays, whatever that may be, but you know, to speak a little bit maybe to like other teachers out there who they've been teaching for a while now and they might be feeling some burnout. That's something super common we hear, where teachers are teaching and they're just feeling burnt out. They don't know where to pull inspiration from. They feel like they're just getting into this rhythm and they're just losing all sense of inspiration. Coming from somebody who's been doing this for 15 years, how do you keep your cup filled? How do you keep finding inspiration? And how do you, or what advice would you give to teachers out there who are in the same line of work and might be feeling a little bit of that burnout?
I think the first thing when it comes to dance for me, I love dancing, I love creating, but like I have this like unexplainable love for teaching. And maybe that's just because how I was taught growing up. And my mom always said, I can tell who you had that was a good teacher and who got you engaged. And I can tell who hasn't, because my marks were like all over the place. When I didn't like a teacher, I didn't agree with the way they taught and stuff, like, I just didn't care. And when I had a teacher that was engaging and like really like put their like all into it, you could tell, because like they tried to get me to work and they tried to really like find things to help me. So I guess being, kind of falling into this teaching realm, like I just love teaching when it comes to that. It's not something that I do necessarily for a paycheck, even though it is, but like it's not something I do for that. Like some people are like, I don't dance for a paycheck, but I do it. Like that's teaching for me. Dance is my paycheck. Like dance is my job. Like teaching, I just absolutely love teaching. So that's all one first and foremost. Like I'm not just trying to teach to get my stuff out there, to get my stuff seen. Like I just genuinely enjoy teaching and figuring things out and helping people figure their stuff out and what can help them thrive and what can help them have those like light bulb moments. Like I love that stuff. So for me, that's where it starts. I don't know, again, I don't know it, everyone's story, but like, I don't know if people genuinely love teaching. I think they might like choreographing, they might like teaching, but like, there's people that teach and then there's teachers, and I love to teach. It's something that I take very seriously because I want to see everyone like succeed. I want to see everyone, there's enough in this planet for all of us.
Yeah.
So I want to see everyone else win. Like first and foremost, when I teach, it's not about me. Like when I choreograph, when I create, when I dance, spotlight, throw it on me. When I teach, I very, very rarely ever go full out in my classes because I'm like, it's not about that for me. Like I'm trying to get you to go full out. I'm watching you. I'm making sure. I might be doing it with you, but like I'm checking to see, are you in the pocket? Are you in this? Like I'm really trying to like be a teacher. And then when it comes to the burnout thing, because I've definitely felt it before too. But as you may or may not know, like I don't just do one thing. And I think that might be sometimes where you can feel that quicker, because if you only like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love pizza. But if I had pizza every day, I'd be kind of burnt out from pizza.
Right.
You know what I mean? I love a good steak, but I could not have it every day, So for me, I've kind of taken that into my creative process where like, when it comes to teaching, there's teaching and then there's like your art and your like dance and what you create. And those are two separate things. Whereas I'm not trying to teach you my style. I'm trying to teach you how to dance. I'm trying to teach you how to use your style within my creative process. So I like to try different things. You look at my page, like you said, like it could be from hip hop to this. I'll teach show tunes, theater songs, like pop songs. I'll teach an instrumental. I'll go all over the map, because if I just teach the same thing every week, then I'm like, I'm running out of moves. I'm only listening to the same type of songs. I'm doing the same type of movement. There's only so much of that I can do. So I'm like, what do I need to do to kind of spark something different? Let me listen to a different genre of music, or let me search for something a little different that might spark a new idea, a different choice than what I might normally make. And if you've been in my class, sometimes I start and I'm like, hey guys, we're trying something today. We're just gonna see how this goes. And that's how I'm like trying to put some fuel in my spark. I'm trying to like put that spark again, instead of just like, well, I don't really know what to do right now. I'll go left field, I'll go right field, I'll go close, I'll go far. Like I'm just gonna try to do a bunch of different stuff, and know that if I'm teaching every single week one class that may not be the best, it's not the end of the world. I don't need every class choreography to be this magical masterpiece of choreo. I've been a teacher for creating. I started creating at 15. Like almost the day I started dancing, I almost started creating. So going on 20 years of creating, I feel like I've had a handful of masterpieces, like class or stage or whatever like that. I'm like, these just hit. I've had some that were good, some that were just all right, and then some that we can just forget. You know, some that were just like, you know what, we tried it, but let's keep that one over there. We don't need that, you know? So, and I kind of realized that, and maybe now it's also different too, because as much as I filmed everything when I first started, I didn't really share everything that like need to feel like I have to share everything also wasn't there. So that can also have a little bit of a struggle, because I feel that now, whereas I didn't feel that before. You know, sometimes you feel like everything you put out has to be great. You know, and that, whether that's an active thought or not, it's in your subconscious, and anything in your subconscious affects you. So I'm not here to say, oh, social media or anything, because it's a magical tool. But just having that in the back of your mind can sometimes make you feel like, oh my God, I have to like be this great thing all the time. And it doesn't need to be that all the time. Sometimes a class could just be a class, and it could be a lesson for all of us. Is like, I tried something different. Sometimes it hits and it's like, okay, sick. Sometimes it doesn't. So not being afraid to try something different, even if it's not exactly how you describe yourself. Because when you do that, your description of yourself grows also. And it doesn't just, this is what I do. And that's why it's been so hard to kind of describe what I do, because this is what I do, but I also do this. And I also do a bit of that. And I kind of do a little bit of that, but I really love this, even though I'm trash at it. I love it. You know?
Yeah.
So, and then kind of like we talked about earlier, like using other things in your life that inspire you. I love music. I love camera stuff. I love, you know, nature and stuff. Like, use inspiration from other places. Use inspiration from other people. As much as I'm not saying like copy anybody's style or something, but sometimes watching someone and doing something and maybe trying to manipulate the way that they move a little bit might spark, again, a different choice that you would make. So just trying to expose yourself to different stuff. Try different stuff. Take a break if you need it. Like, I think it was 2018. I was like, I need a break. I took a break from teaching, and then COVID happened, and it made me really take a break from teaching. You know, so I was like, I might take a couple months off, and then it ended up being a little while longer. You know, so yeah, take a break. Sometimes you might take a break from teaching, but you could just create for the sake of creating. Be in your house creating. Hey, you want to come to the studio with me? I'm just trying to create something, and I don't know what's going to happen, but let's try it. Yeah. So it doesn't mean you might not even necessarily need to teach it, but just the act of trying to create from a different like perspective, from a different genre, even if you're trying to manipulate it or like emulate it a little bit, can spark some different choices in your creative process too.
That's great. Yeah, I loved what you said too about like, first and foremost, you love teaching, because that's that's a separate thing, separate skill set, separate mindset. And so sometimes, myself included, we can get so caught up in what we're teaching, and we forget that, you know, the job is for us to teach this, you know, room of dancers and improve them. And so I like that idea of shifting the focus away from yourself and constantly making it about the students and just pouring into them. And, you know, you have so much wisdom and like years of experience that you continually have to share, which I feel like also gives an advantage for you in your classes. Speaking of your classes, what, for somebody who's never stepped into a Derick Robinson class, what can people expect? What's that experience? What's your classroom? You've already kind of touched a little bit on it, where you can kind of expect anything.
Yeah, that's it. Expect anything. You never know what you're going to get with me. Even within a specific genre, like, you just never know.
Yeah. Feels like you make, not to cut you off, but it feels like you very much make the students the center. Like, that's the focus. And
that's the goal. Anyway. It's definitely the goal anyway, for sure. Big thing that I've realized, I give you all the answers. And I tell you the exact rhythms. I try to help you with dynamics. I try to help you with like everything. And I think that's maybe why it's so hard, because everyone's just do it how you want. And then people tend to do that. Okay, movement wise, I can do it how I want. But no, are you listening to the music? Like, I'm really trying to get you connected to your body, what you're hearing, my choreo, your creative. Like, there's so many things that I try to make feel cohesive. And in my especially like my advanced class, even sometimes my beginner class, like all my classes are hard just because I am a unicorn. You know what I mean? Like, I've trained to be like this. So obviously anything that I do is going to feel like that. Like, there's just certain people that are just like, you're unicorns, and the way that you move is just so different. And I know it's not exactly the most natural for a lot of people, where it's natural for me. Whereas like doing someone else's style, like I remember when I took your class, however long ago that was, and I was like, that's like different than what I do.
Yeah.
That's completely different than, that's not exactly natural to the way that I move. I could do it, but that style is not like me, which is fine, 100% fine. But me is not natural to anybody else, you know? So
for sure, no, yeah.
I just know that you're gonna be challenged. It's gonna be hard, like as it should be in an advanced class. If we're talking about that one specifically, my beginners, I got you. It's still hard, but it's just because you're a beginner. You know what I mean? You might be day one for you, and it's tough to come into anything on day one. You know, but I'm going to push you. I'm gonna not let you settle for just like doing it. At the end of the day, I will, because it's not my choice. You're whatever you want to do, you want to do. If you're just not trying, or you know you're kind of over it, like, I'm gonna let you do you. But like, I'm still gonna be like, hey, come on,
yeah.
You know, like, I really try to get you to your max. I try to get you to open your brain and be aware of what we're doing. Because I feel like a lot of times we kind of get tunnel vision, and we're like, hey, let me just get this step. But I'm like, what are we feeling? What are we thinking? What do you do? What are the thoughts that are going on in your brain? Are there any thoughts going on in your brain? Like, sometimes you never know. Sometimes you just never know. I really tried to encourage people to figure out who they are in a class, in a workshop, in dance. And it's not always easy to do that, because like I said, we're always forever evolving too, right? But like, we know who we are in that moment. I know who I am now. I know who I was 5 years ago. I know who I was 10 years ago. Like, in that moment, you know what you like, what you don't like, what gets you going, what doesn't get you going. How can you use all of that? How can you use your experiences? What do you think of when you hear this song? What does it remind you of? Do you have an experience with this topic, with this idea? When you hear the music, what do you feel like? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel soft? Like, I'm trying to really open your mind to figure out, how can you make a choice? I'm going to give you the answers, yes, but how can you make a choice within that to now elevate it and make it something that's not just a piece of choreo? Because for us, choreo and then dancing. For singers, lyrics and then singing. For actors, a script and then acting. We so heavily focus on the script, the lyrics, the choreography. I despise choreo because people use it as a crutch. I need the cool moves. I need the trendy moves. I need the flips, the acrobatics, the hype stuff, the emotional. Like, I need to choreograph a certain way to be able to dance. No, you should be able to dance any choreo. And that's why, like, I love taking different styles. I love taking from different people, because I'm like, can I still do me within what you do? Can I still pay respect and get the essence of what you do? And then mix that with what I do. And how can we find that harmonious balance between the two? When I think a lot of people go into class and they just try to be like the teacher. And with all the love in the world, you're never gonna be like me. You never will. And I'm never gonna be like you.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
For sure.
And you gotta use you as the superpower.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to do, and I get you to figure out what it is that helps you thrive, and what is your superpower in dance. Is it performing? Is it technique? Is it style? Is it like athleticism? Is it dynamic changes? Like, what it is, what do you thrive? Like, what do you use as your like Like, this is what I do. Like, I'm a performer. I'm a character when I dance. That, I think, is what I use first and foremost.
Yeah.
I have great retention, but, like, I have great retention because I'm using it, like, my character to help me get into that. I'm trying to create a story. I'm trying to create a feeling or an emotion or a flow of events that make sense for my brain to remember the choreo. Because if I just 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, then my brain goes, oh my gosh, what is this? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't feel anything. If I don't feel anything, then I'm lost. So I really, really, really try to help you to get into that stuff. Get aware. Be aware of what you're doing. Know that, yes, mistakes are okay. But if you're not aware of the mistakes, that's where the danger is. I be making mistakes all the time. But I go, red flag, put a pin in it, post a note. I need to address this. Instead of, oh, I made a mistake. Boo-hoo. No, I made a mistake. Let me go directly to that point and fix it.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, guys, find your red flags. What is making you do this? What is causing that hesitation? What are the moments? Because 9 times out of 10, you come to a class, you're gonna get majority of the steps. But we focus so heavily on the 5% that we don't get, that we throw, I say it all the time, it's like a banana. When there's one little brown spot on the banana and you throw the entire thing away, there's so much good banana in there. Like, why are we throwing it away? So celebrate. Like, you have a banana. You have an entire, this one little spot of brown. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So, like, at the same time, it's hard, but I also help you figure out how to deal with that difficulty, because this industry is hard. Yeah. Life is hard. And if you can't find ways to, like, keep yourself motivated, keep yourself up, keep yourself positive within all that difficulty and all the steps and technique we have to think about and perform. Like, we have to think about so many things at one time. The choreo, the music, my body, my this, my that. Like, there's a plethora of things we have to remember in one count.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I can sing. I just got to sit here and just sing. Like, I have to move. I have to think about the story. I have to think about the emotion. Like, there's just so many things.
Yeah.
So, like, when you miss something, like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We can fix it. And if you don't have time to fix it in an hour and a half, an hour, go home and practice.
Yeah.
Take it home.
Yeah.
We don't just have to learn 1,000,000 pieces of choreo. You could learn 3 pieces of choreo and perfect it. Perfect it.
No, for sure.
Practice it. Understand it. Do it 1,000,000 different ways.
Yeah.
Try to do it like you're trying to be the cool kid. Try to do it like you're trying to be quirky. Like, how can you take the same piece of choreo, 1 4 count of 8, and manipulate it 1,000,000 ways versus being able to do 1,000,000 different things one way? So that's what I've tried to do. And that's what I try to encourage people to do in my classes, is like, use your training. First of all, why are you doing all this training if you're not going to use it?
Right.
You know, use it. And then use your experiences, your emotions, all that, and then think about what I'm giving you, and then again, like, find that balance. How do we find that middle ground of all that? Because then that's where the pocket is. That's where we're really like bringing the magic of what this art form is.
Dude, I love it. I feel like there's so much in there to unpack. We didn't even get to half the things I wanted to ask you about, so we'll definitely have to have you back on.
Yeah.
But dude, just thank you so much for sharing. There's so much gold and there's so many things I just wanted to continue to repeat over and over. So make sure, you know, if you're listening to this, go back and just put it on repeat over and over and over, because there's so much wisdom here, so much experience. But yeah, before we wrap up, just wanted to ask for anyone who may be wanting to follow you, find you online, where can they find you, Mr. Exclusive?
Yeah, that's it. The best thing would be probably my Instagram. Oh my God. I was going to say IG and then Instagram. It came out Instagram. Probably the best because I'm the most active on that. I don't really use my Facebook.
Yeah.
It got deleted and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really use my YouTube, which I'm going to try to start to do that more often. But yeah, so Derick, Derick, and then Exclusive, XCLUSIV. Yeah, without the E's on the end. Derick Exclusive, and you'll find me. Yeah. And then I'm always around.
Yeah.
Holla at me. You know what I mean? You want questions? Like, I'm literally an open book when it comes to this stuff. Because like I said, I want to see everyone thrive and I want to see everyone be great. So like, reach out to me, ask me questions. I might not answer right away. Sometimes I just forget to answer things, or I see it and I go to teach and then I forget that you even messaged me. But like, just hit me up again. Guys, double message. It's okay. It's fine. It's all good. Just double message. Someone didn't answer you, just send another one. The worst thing they're going to say is they're not going to answer again. So you're in the same boat anyway. You might as well just do it again. But yeah, like, I'm an open book. Ask questions. If you're watching this, if you see it, like, you got a question about something, I'm always open to answer and help. Like, I just want to see us all be great. So
I love that. And I love that about you. And just thank you for sharing today, but also just thank you for sharing every single week here at Studio North Toronto. It really means a lot that we've got amazing, not just talent, but people who actually care about the students and the dancers in the room. So just thank you for all that you do. Thanks for being here.
Of course, man.
And
Thank
we'll
you for
definitely have to have
having
you
me.
back. Thank you for tuning in to the Studio North podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the like, hit the notification bell, share this with a friend. What else do they need to do? Drop a comment down below. It would really help us out here on the Studio North podcast. But we just really appreciate you tuning in, and we really look forward to seeing you here next time on the Studio North podcast.
Hey.
Peace.